So, The Mystery Knight is the final story in George R. R. Martin's fantastic book, A Knight of the Seven Kingdoms, following the dumb as a stump Sir Duncan the Tall and his squire, the impeccably clever Egg. Um, it is also probably my favorite of those stories. So the Mystery Knight follows Duncan A getting roped into a tournament held at this castle, whose lord is going to be marrying a daughter of House Frey. God freaking Freys, man! Someone ought to bake a pie out of them, but I digress. Anyway, Dunk is sort of put off by some of the shady characters who are going to be competing in the tourney, right? You've got Gorman Peak and Alan Cockshaw, I think his name is, both who were just like awful jerks. Who Egg actually remembers that they are like former Blackfire rebels, right? So we get into all that in this story, how the story of Bloodraven and Bittersteel and all that jazz getting talked about. Well, at the center of it all, we have this mystery knight, if you will, Sir John the Fiddler, who pretty much everyone knows is no simple hedge knight like he says he is. That he's something more. He's filthy rich for starters, which is just not a hedge knight, right? And everyone defers to him during the tourney. Pretty much everyone loses to him. It's very strange. And Dunk does make some friends, actually. The fiddler likes him quite a lot. And there's Maynard Plum, who I will talk about in more detail later, and Glendon Ball, who might or might not be the bastard son of Fireball, who is this famous hero who actually fought for Damon Blackfire. Though the general consensus is that Fireball was this really cool guy. Anyway, uh, all throughout the story, we're getting these whispers and half heard conversations. There's this huge wedding taking place with singing and dancing and tumbling dwarves and jugglers, and the Freys are there, including this little piece of crap 4-year old who goes running around. And it happens to be Walder Frey himself, the really old guy from the main series, and in this, the prequel, he's just a little kid, right? Um, so yeah, there's this conversation during the feast. I think it's during the feast that Egg overhears about a dream where someone has about a dragon hatching from an egg, and a dragon's egg is actually being offered as the reward for whoever wins the tourney. There's a lot of egg, egg, and egg symbolism there. But the guy who's going to get the egg is obviously going to be the fiddler, since everyone else is willing to take the fall for him. Apparently, it's almost like he's royalty or something. Um, Dunk, it turns out, is horrible at jousting, so he's not really a threat to the fiddler at all. He gets his butt handed to him actually in like the first tilt by a quote unquote tourney knight who was actually hired to kill him during the joust. But the guy doesn't want to he's not really in the mood to get innocent blood on his hands. But still, it's a tricky situation. He like tells Dunk after that, hey, someone hired me to kill you, and so oh no, right? Later, it's revealed that the guy who tried to have Dunk killed was none other than that Alan Cockshaw guy, who we find out is gay and in love with Sir John the Fiddler. Sir John has a crush on Dunk, and Sir Alan got jealous and wants to have him killed. Uh, anyway, Sir Alan also reveals that Sir John is actually Daemon the Second Blackfire, the son of Daemon the First Blackfire, Dun dun dun. It's a Blackfire plot all along. Uh, I love that it's a mystery that we, the readers, can pretty much figure out in the first 5 minutes. But Dunk is just so lovably clueless that he doesn't realize it until like that exact moment, really. I mean, he kind of gets it, but not quite, if you know what I mean. There's some great comedy in that I really appreciate, and there's more than just the obvious mystery going on. There's some actual mysteries to chew on that you've got to think about. Uh, Not least of which is the fact that Egg, the squire, goes missing, alongside the dragon Egg, which is also missing. Egg and Egg are both missing. Uh, but back to the guy trying to kill Dunk. Dunk easily dispatches the poor, lovesick Sir Alan, and he does take an injury during the fight, which Maynard Plum arrives to tend. Where did he come from? It was as if he appeared out of thin air, as if by magic. Uh, he claims that he is working for the Loyalists, right? And he claims that he's working with Bloodraven and with Egg's dad and all of them, seeking to put down this newfangled rebellion disguised as attorney. I love it. It is so bonkers. And I'm half convinced that Maynard Plum is actually Bloodraven in disguise or glamored somehow. I won't go into all the evidence, but there's some great symbolism and very strangeness going on around that character. You should look it up if you're interested, because it's a great theory and I love it. But Maynard Plum tells Dunk that Egg has gone to talk with the Lord of the Castle, which is a tremendously bad idea, even for like a 10-year-old, however old Egg is at the moment. But we find out that everything is fine because Egg revealed his true identity to the Lord and claimed, mind you, this is a bald-faced lie, that his father Makar was on the way with an army to wipe out this rebellion once and for all, which is so ballsy. It leads me to this idea that I'm afraid to say I can't take full credit for, is that the dragon hatching from the egg, is in Damon the Fiddler's dream, is actually our Egg, right? The Aegon, this nasty Targaryen prince, hatching from the mild mannered Egg the Squire, right? Dreams and symbolism and all that. It's the only thing left after that point, really, what with the Lord of the Castle freaking out and like looking to hightail it, right? Uh, is that Dunk dukes it out with some guys in their spooky Blackfire armor, and kills them, and he has a showdown with Gorman Peak and John Blackfire, Damon the Fiddler, whatever he wants to be called. Um, so they were Gorman Peak, I should say, was pinning the theft of the dragon's egg on Glyndon Ball, who wanted to take after his father Fireball by winning the tourney and being this great, awesome knight. Um, but that doesn't go over well with Gorman Peak, who wants John the Fiddler slash Damon the Second Blackfire to win. Uh, so he pins the dragon egg theft on Glyndon Ball to get him out of the tourney. But Dunk knows better and demands that Glyndon be given a fair trial. Uh, and Damon, who is honorable and just this really he's this really idealistic, naive guy, who didn't realize people were taking the fall during the jousts. He actually thinks he's just that good. He agrees to challenge Glyndon Ball to a trial by combat. They joust, and Glyndon easily dispatches him thanks to some tricks and pointers that Dunk gave him. But anyway, Damon gets like thrown into the mud, and it shatters everyone's faith in him, right? Someone shouts about him being the brown dragon, I think. Uh, and even worse, like not long after, Bloodraven shows up with an army uh, of archers armed with weirwood bows. And Bloodraven, right? He's this one-eyed albino guy in like crimson armor with a red raven birthmark on the side of his face. He looks like freaking Elric of Melniboné. While Maynard Plum has mysteriously vanished around the same time Bloodraven arrives. So, that might be a bit of evidence toward my theory there. In any case, Bloodraven resolves everything. He's full on like the Greek god showing up at the end of a classic play or whatever. He takes Damon into custody, rewards Duncan Egg with a bunch of gold and such that they need, and then he reveals that he was the one who stole the dragon egg. We don't really know what becomes of the egg, but Dunk suspects, and rightly so, that the dwarves at the feast were secretly agents of Bloodraven, and that they crawled up the garderobe to get at the egg, which was safely hidden in someone's bedroom. It was gross, uh, but but also freaking brilliant. It's a great story. I just love it. I love this good crazy mystery because despite knowing right off the bat that it's a Blackfire Rebellion thing and that these guys are plotting treason and that this Sir John the Fiddler is probably some sort of prince in disguise, Martin is still able to give us so much to go on, so many great questions and theories and hints at other more important aspects of the story. And he's able to add magic in the form of Bloodraven and the Dragon Dreams. I just love it. I do. I love it. It's as good as Martin gets. And I'd almost be willing to say that if I think I'd prefer more Duncan Egg stories to a finished Winds of Winter. Yeah, you heard me. Um, don't at me. Uh, but nevertheless, yeah, that's Duncan Egg. The amazing Duncan Egg. I just love it. And seeing as spooky season is upon us, I figured that I might do some classic horror for my next few videos. I might cover some of that. It was a great time reading Duncan Egg. I thoroughly enjoyed it, the whimsical, fun nature of it all. Um, and now it's time to talk about some spooky, scary things. Until then, uh, bye.